Welcome. These will be my thoughts on The Patient, Season 1, Episode 7, Kaddish. See, Sam, it's not that difficult to pronounce it properly. The episode is rated TVMA, so this video there will be spoilers for these first 7 episodes. And yeah, another episode that I absolutely loved. So let's see. I think I'm going to start by briefly noting I thought it worked really well the way that, we, like Alan, spend the entire episode just, essentially waiting to see, what's happening with did he find out? Or is, will Alan be set free? What? Yeah. Um, and then at the end, we find out, I guess, why there's 3 more episodes, because it didn't, yeah. I mean, I was wondering how they were going to get, several more episodes out of it with, seemed like this would be the conclusion. So yeah, it's interesting to have, a tease like that, have it seem like, because yeah, it was interesting. I think the way that it plays with expectation, and yeah, I think that worked well. And then we have the big monologue where he talks about, he talks to Charlie several times, and one of the times he has this big monologue about just really saying how he feels about Ezra. And it's very clear he hasn't talked to anyone about this. So I appreciate how performance forward that was. I thought it was really good to have it be, to not distract too much with editing. If hypothetically, if they hadn't had faith in the performance, that's where you would have cut to like flashback footage or something. I think that might just about cover the... Yeah, I thought it worked really well the way it would keep, they got their money's worth out of the SWAT footage, because they showed it a bunch of times, and then at one point he's like, maybe they won't come through the glass door, maybe they'll come from upstairs. Is that what's been, but that that worked really well, as both, that's where you really need the visual to show, you know the oh, my bad. Did we use the visual? No, whatever. Show that he's thinking about that, and trying to math out of how, what's... Yeah. I think that does bring us to the... Yeah, and the device of having Sam, just, like Alan is like, well, where are they? Why aren't they? And he's like, it's been a long day and night, and I was, that's such a fascinating Because, like, how is Sam gonna react? Like, I legit was thinking that he was gonna, like, kill him right then and there or something. Or attempt to, and then Alan would have to talk him down or something. But he just walks off, and then, you know, he contacts these people from his past and tries to find out, you know, because, like, this was his last, what's the word? He didn't really have any ideas after this. Like, if this doesn't work, he has no clue what possibly could. So, you know, yeah, that was a good way to, you know, um, yeah, explore that aspect. Yeah, I think let's, yes. Not sure how chronological it's going to be, but let's go with, let's try to keep it slightly chronological. So, yeah, you know, him talking to Charlie, and, you know, the thing about, well, I mean, either this or that. Oh, right. Sorry. Before that, obviously, we have the dream he had, where he's back in the concentration camp, and, you know, this time there are you know, these rabbi reciting the mourner's Kaddish, and the sometimes I think about weird shit. Am I the only person who wonders if Donnell Gleeson had to be taught, like, purposefully taught the wrong pronunciation of Kaddish? I don't know. Uh, I'm just thinking, like, if he heard some of the others pronounce it properly, and he has to, sometimes it's actually more difficult to pronounce something wrong. Anyway, yeah, especially if you know the right pronunciation. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, and you know, he talks to Charlie, and it's like, okay, so yeah, the dream's obvious. I'm supposed to fight, but, you know, what am I supposed to do? You know, how do I fight? And I mean, what I did was already, it should really be something, huh? And yeah, the him talking through it, and yeah, you know, in his, if the SWAT arrive, he imagines that he will actually attack Sam. You know, the way that he was, you know, fantasizing about in an earlier episode. So that's fun. And then they shoot him in the back of the head, so that, like, yeah, that was he yeah, Alan is not really holding back. Imagine how you really feel. Jeez. And I think, yeah, and the way that, you know, it's either that or he'll find the note, and the way he walks up, god damn, like, I know I've talked about it before, but it really is, like, the fact that he's got, like, this angelic face really does make Domhnall Gleeson, you know, when he does something intense, it really hits hard because of the contrast, you know. So when he walks in, he's got the knife, and then he, you know, yeah, buries it in yeah. And the thing about, oh, what am I supposed to do? You know, what will I do if he buries a knife in my mouth? Die fast? See, again, that felt like something Mel Brooks could have come up with. I think that might bring us to, yeah, I thought the various, you know, couple of things where he's going, you know, around, you know, so let's see. Yeah, I super don't remember the order, but at one point he goes, let's see, yeah, he calls his ex, and, you know, asks, did you ever think there was something wrong with me? You know, there's a saying, Sam, don't text your ex. I don't think what you're meant to take from that saying is what you should do instead is call your ex and explicitly ask, do you think there is something wrong with me? I think that might actually be on the other, yeah, that might be going further in the wrong direction instead of stopping short. Yeah, I just want there to be an outtake where she goes, "How much time you got?" But I did think it with, seriously though, it was a good scene. And I feel really bad for her. He's really not being very sensitive to her behaving like this recently, showing up unannounced, calling and just saying, is there something wrong with me? Okay, thanks. And but yeah, she she says your whole life revolves around food. You're not Carmy Bear, okay? And let's see, yeah, she does say, and yeah, it comes up about, did you really love her? And the thing about, I think fundamentally you are good, or trying to be good at least. And let's see, yeah, so he talks to his school counselor, I think, something along those lines. And after being told drugs are bad, okay, he gets yeah, they talk about the possibility of therapy. And I like the fact that he starts with, you remember you talked to the teacher with the rich hair, and then the next year, and then he came back and apologized to us, and the next year he wasn't back. Did you get him fired? That's the kind of thing that, like, yeah, even years later, he would still be, yeah, um, still be thinking about, still want to know the answer to that question, because, like, that's, probably something some of the other students, like, there was a rumor going around. And yeah, so they, let's see, he goes, yeah, so he talks to him, and there's the thing about, the, let's see, uh, what's the word? Yeah, they talk about, well, I'll have to think about it, about therapy. What if someone lived with their therapist? Oh, that would be a bad idea. Oh, this is strictly theoretical, right? Well, I mean, it's not that I was wondering if that could have been a flashback, but by the end of that scene, I certainly know it's not, because if it had been, there would have been no show. But the let's see, yeah, and he gets him a printer, so that the he can say the Kaddish. And yeah, he tells him, well, if I dump the body, that guy might remember. So yeah, god damn. All right, I also really appreciated we actually get to see the forensic investigator actually find the note. They didn't have to go so hard on, because, like, they had to, make that set or dress it at the very least. Yeah, for a shot that lasts like 5 seconds or something. 2 shots maybe, but very, very short amount of running time. Yeah, I think that does bring us to the thing with the let's see. Yeah, and he even wants to listen to the Kaddish. And he does end up listening through the door. Yeah. God damn it. Alan really, all this time, all these hours where he was, he was worried, but at the same time excited. And then just, it's not going to be on the news. Yeah. So the big monologue, just fantastic writing and delivery. Yeah, I I know for a very long time, Steve Carell was a comedian. Um, I could definitely see more dramatic work. I forget if this was, I read once if this was or not the first time he did dramatic work. Certainly I hope it won't be the last. And since it's like 3 years old, I guess it's possible it already has been followed up by something else. But yeah, let's see. What was the other thing that yeah, it's so credible, this thing about, yeah, um, mother and son, there being this like conflict between them, and how much it tears up Alan. The you know, we weren't Jewish enough for him. And yeah, just it's really, really powerful. And I think that might just about let's see. Yeah, I I think that covers everything that I really wanted to say about the episode. I feel like there's at least one other thing. Maybe not. No, yeah, that might be everything. Yeah. I'm going to close this out, not with a joke of my own. You're welcome, but rather I'm going to yeah. There's another joke in the episode that I really wanted to underline that again felt very much like something that the great Mel Brooks himself could have come up with. So let's see. How did they say it again? It was something along the lines of yeah. Let's see. There was the thing about um, I'm surprised that he didn't kill me. Well, so you're still alive. And then Alan asks Charlie, jealous?